Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. To begin, thank you for all of our Squirrel Nation members. Today's video is going to be a Glacier guide. I'm going to go through 4 different Glacier combinations. Glacier Knights and Glacier Warriors are the main subcategories, and then I'm going to give you some variations of both builds. And for this video, this guide, if it gets to 50 likes, I will do the next guide. So if you like this style, definitely like it, comment, so that I will start doing the next guide, which will most likely be Goblin or Mage. You can let me know in the comments what you all want to see. And last note is I will be streaming tonight about an hour after you see this video. So if you want to check that out, click on my Nemo streaming link in the comments below. Anyways, with that said, let's dive into the video. To begin, we're going to look at the classic 6 Knights for Glacier and see how it performs. So for all these 4 different games, what I did is I edited so we look at the fights starting around round 10, and you can see how I evolve the build and how it looks late game and how it looks mid game. So anyways, one note is for Glacier, you're going to notice is not very strong in the early game synergies. So in this case, I am only 1 stars of everything, whereas my enemies have multiple 2 stars. But even when Glacier has stars, it's not really that super strong of an early game synergy, so it can't compete with Goblins. It doesn't compete really well with Assassins. It doesn't compete well with Feather now after the last patch. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, starting out okay there. So here we go. We're hitting some more 2 stars on to round 12. Here's a Goblin team with the Assassins. And you'll see if Fortune Teller you can get to 2 stars, your Glacier will do a lot better against Assassins. But if your Fortune Teller is stuck at 1 star, then Assassins can really beat you up in the early and mid game. So here we go, another Assassin. I mean, surprise, surprise, the ladder is filled with Assassin players, especially early mid game. So notice the Fortune Teller does get off the ult. But when he's only 1 star, he only ults himself or one other hero, so it's just not enough to really save you from the Assassins. And you can see the Abyssal Crawler just kind of cleaning up. And also notice throughout this that my star levels are increasing. So at first, I mean, Glacier's hanging in there, but if you notice, I'm on a lose streak at this point in the game, and my health, I'm bottom 3 for health, so not doing too good. At this point, we have 2 different 2 stars, and we have Storm Shaman. So at this point in the game, I mixed in Shaman synergy. This is another way to help yourself a little bit if you get lucky and you get a Storm Shaman early, because with the Defector, you got Shaman for the CC, so that can help you. And notice I'm still not losing too much health, and now we are up to 3 2 stars, sorry, but the enemies at this point are 5 2 stars. So in this game, the reason I keep mentioning the stars is this isn't necessarily Glacier's fault, but if you don't hit stars and you have a heavy bench like I do in this game, then yeah, you're gonna have issue. So at this point, I decided to give up on the 4 Glacier, and we switch in to 4 Knight. So now we're only 2 Glacier with a 4 Knight, and because the choice, to me, this is how the choice goes. If you go for Glacier, you need to have a carry unit. So you need to have something that does a lot of damage that's 2 stars. So like your Hell Knight, a Berserker can be okay, a 2-star Lightblade Knight. Something like that is okay to go for Glacier because you get the benefit. But if you are, if you don't have the 2 stars and you only have the 1 stars, I don't recommend going for the Glacier. Instead, I would switch to the 4 Knights because they're tankier, and hopefully you can at least get 1 or 2 kills and kind of protect your health pool. That's what I learned from just kind of going through a bunch of these games and doing this. Our stars are starting to get better. We have the 4 Knights and 3 Glacier right now, and we are kind of climbing our way back in there. And in this video, I showed the Shaman. I could put in the Berserker and be at 4 Glacier, which is probably better, but I am showing how the Shaman synergy works out, and it's okay, but it's really, it's a luck thing, right? If you get the polymorph, the CC onto the right unit, like in this case, the Pirate Captain, it's great, but there's a lot of times that you get a unit that's doesn't even matter, like the Winter Chimera, and then, I mean, the Shaman synergy seems like it's pretty useless. So anyways, here we go. Now we're to 4 Glacier, 4 Knight, and Shaman synergy. The reason I'm not using Berserker, by the way, is Berserker is a high cost unit, and because Glacier Knights is not really that strong early in the game, you generally don't start with great health, which means it's hard to focus on expensive items. So if you think about a Berserker, I had the one sitting on my bench forever, and by the time I'm finally going to get him to 2-star, I've been sitting on 8 gold for quite a long time, and that kind of hurts when you already don't have a great economy and you're already behind in health. So making a carry out of your Hell Knight or your Lightblade Knight is just a lot better. And yeah, then you can try to go towards the 3-star on them, and that's actually going to be your late game hyper carry anyways, is going to be a Lightblade Knight and a Hell Knight, not a Berserker. So anybody wondering why Berserker, I don't really want them that much in this variation of Glacier, that is why. So here we go, the Mage, and here becomes the real hard spot for Knights. Is if you notice, I'm 5 Knights, 4 Glacier right now, and we do have all of our 2-stars. We're even starting to work towards our 3-stars, but the Knight absolutely, or the Mage absolutely crushes me. 6 Knight is okay against Mage. It kind of comes down to what item you have, what item the Mage has. But before your 6 Knights, the Mages are going to absolutely wreck you, because your shield is not going to be, your Knight shield is not going to be up, and they're just going to wipe out your health really, really quickly. So here is the Assassin. If you notice, the Fortune Teller is still only 1 star, but now that I have some other stars, this is starting to go better, and you can see that the Fortune Teller tanks quite a lot of the Assassin damage. So once he gets to 2 stars, Assassins are a lot easier, and you can already see just getting to the 4 Knight, 4 Glacier is already helping a lot against this Assassin player, who even is pretty ahead of me because they got the 2-star Razor Claw and a 2-star Siren, so they have good units that are high level. Here we're mixing up our formation just to kind of deal with some of the other stuff in the game. But anyways, here's the Goblin player. I believe they are at 6 Goblin right now. So because they have the Devastator and they even have the Helicopter. So 6 Goblin, I just can't get through, right? Until you hit a 3-star, the Goblins are going to wreck you because you just don't have the damage to get through the 6 Goblins armor. So that's the main takeaway on that one. Back to the Assassin again. And you're going to fight a lot of Assassins as Knights, or just period. So this is definitely a matchup that matters quite a bit. And I do say Knights are good against Assassins. Later in this video and towards the late game, you're going to see what a scary Assassin team looks like when they hit 3 stars, and then things kind of change up. Okay, big note here, we're at 6 Knights, and we got a 3-star Lightblade Knight. So now if you look at the DPS meter, you are going to see. Also, this is pre-patch, so the Lightblade Knight's actually even a little stronger now. So just keep that in mind. Mage, notice, Mage, still an issue. Even though I'm 6 Knights, you can see I lived through the initial burst, but the 6 Mage is still just wrecking me, and I have a Storm Shaman that is getting his silence off quickly. So if you go back and look at that fight, my Storm Shaman gets the silence off, but I mean, the Mages are just still too damaging once that first round of ultimates come through. And anyways, Lightblade, you can see, just can seriously carry your DPS, and this is where the Berserker doesn't matter. Getting that 3-star Lightblade, and then now I'm even working on the 3-star for the Hell Knight. At this point, we pick up a Dark Spirit, which I will be switching in and giving up the Shaman synergy. To me, this is a no-brainer. I experimented both ways, trying to keep the Storm Shaman, trying to keep the Dark Spirit, but the Dark Spirits are just so clutch. When I built 6 Knight anything, I try to target legendaries now, because it's just, they can carry your damage so hardcore. So if you notice with this Dark Spirit, like, look at the DPS meter versus the Lightblade Knight, and you're going to see that even though I'm at a 3-star Lightblade Knight, my Dark Spirit's damage is still insane. And remember, we were losing to this Goblin. The Dark Spirit really helps with the Goblin, since it does HP. It does damage based on HP. And anyway, so the Dark Spirit gets the initial damage out, and then the Lightblade you see cleans up as the fight goes on. So really, really good pairing. Here we go, the Goblin again. Same thing, Dark Spirit chunks every way down at first. The 6 Knight is protecting me from that Helicopter and the Devastator type stuff. But once the shields go off, you can see your non-knight stuff drops really quickly. So the Glacier stuff dies off really quickly. And then here we go. This is where the Light Blade just carries the end of the fights to clean up all those units that have a little health left. So at this point, you know, we're doing pretty good. The reason I broke off 2 units to the side is for the randomization. So notice their Dark Spirit only ulted 2 of my units, which is keeping the other 8 units safe. And yeah, so I think that is the way to go. That's another good thing about the 6 Knights is you can kind of put units off to the side and it doesn't really affect you that badly, even against assassins, because your Dark Spirit's still going to get ult off. Your Defector, as long as he gets his ult off, you're okay, that he did his job. And then your Fortune Teller can still grab some aggro. So here, yep, you just see stacking up. Now here you go, here in Assassin's Gain late, notice the Abyssal Crawler's 3 stars now. So this is kind of the difference we're talking about. And like I was saying, even though the Assassin's in the late game build, the Dark Spirit still gets the ultimate off. So just starts out by cleaving down the enemy team. But here becomes a problem. Just like every team, a 3-star Abyssal Crawler just is ridiculous. And yeah, it just ends up stalling out everything. Again, we're just looking for the 3-star Hell Knight. And looking for any other legendaries we might want. Devastator can be good depending on what's left on the enemy team. In this game, it's mainly the Goblin and then the Mage. So the Mage is, or sorry, the Goblin and the Assassin. So Devastator can be good against the Assassin, but it's really not useful versus the Goblin. So I opt to just stay with my Dark Spirit because I don't want to give up my 6 Knight. I don't want to give up my Glacier, which means I only have 1 slot for a legendary. And that's actually a really important note about 6 Knight for Glacier that I kind of don't like is you don't have space for legendaries. So anyways, on to the next 6 Knights. So now we're 6 Knight, 4 Glacier with 3 Dragon. So again, the weakness of this is going to be you don't have space for legendaries, right? You're not going to be able to fit in Devastators, Dark Spirits, all that type of stuff. But the benefit or the good side is if you are very unlucky and you don't hit those legendaries, you still have strong synergies. So there's some compositions where they count on the legendary units to really bring damage to them, but in Knight variations, you can go without the legendaries. Your comp is still better with legendaries, but you can go without the legendaries. So in this game, we will see this. Again, we're starting around round 16, and this is a comp I actually do like in the early game, which is 3 Dragon. You have 2 Knights, 2 Agaris, and 2 Glacier. It's just kind of a middle, and it's very flexible. So by flexible, I mean you can go off towards Dragon builds, you can go off towards Glacier builds, and you can go off towards Knight builds in lots of different ways. Another build that I didn't show in this video, but you can try out, is actually 3 Dragon, 4 Agaris, and then the Knights. So that is another build I've seen, and it can be a good niche build. Not every game type of thing, but it does perform pretty well in the right circumstances. So here you go, fighting a Divinity with a magic damage, and you can see in this game a difference is I hit the 2-star Fortune Teller a lot earlier, and you can see that it's a very helpful unit, especially if it's positioned right and it gets off its ultimates at the right times. So here we go. Here's another Dragon with his 2-star Dragon Knight, and kind of they're going Knight Mage, maybe Dragon Mage, maybe Dragon Knight, but you can see we're pounding through this time. The Dragons bring a lot. If you look at my DPS meter, you'll notice Venom is really carrying, and yeah, that's a good thing. So here, this person just high rolled a 2-star Devastator at round 21, which is insane, but hey, you know, you go against it on ladder. So in this, yeah, we're losing. This matchup is hard to really say why we're losing. I mean, it's the 2-star Devastators why we're losing, so I'm not really judging the strength of this composition based on that. Onto here, we are to a Beast Warrior, or like a hybrid warrior, right? They have the Beast and then they have the Siren with the Marine. And the dragons are very nice. One, because the dragons bring magic damage. We also have hit our Dragon Knight. And then also, keep in mind, demons do true damage, meaning armor doesn't matter. So Dragon Knights is actually pretty good against warriors, against the goblins, because it has magic damage and it has your demon with your Hell Knight. So that's another thing to keep in mind. That makes it different from just plain old Glacier Knight. This game, here we go. We hit a legendary, which is always a nice thing, and let's see what we do with it. But we are up to 4 Knight, 4 Glacier, 3 Dragon at this point, and you can see it's night and day in terms of where I am. So if you remember last game, we went Glacier early, and we were almost last place in health. Like, our health was way behind everybody. In this game, because we mixed in the Dragon, we held our health a lot better, so we're actually top in health. But in this game, the thing is going to be, as we shift into late game, the comp is kind of getting weaker, so that's something that's going to start happening in the next couple rounds here. And our star level is obviously good, like better this game. But here's the Feather with the Feather Hunter, sorry, where the 3 stars can be a big problem, and Feather does perform well against Knight. That was something I wanted to say. And Feather has got stronger. Even though Lightblade Knight got a buff, keep in mind with Seer and Trend Protector got buffs, and just Feather in general got a buff. So Feather, when they're ahead of you in the quality, meaning they have multiple 3 stars, they are going to be a problem for a Knight player. So just keep that in mind. You might want to be saving your items to get the anti-avoidance item. I think it's called the Oblivion Staff and the Monkey King Bar. And here we go, some more Goblin, Knights, Assassins, the things you're going to see a lot, and Feather, and then obviously the Mages. So notice we were talking about having the Demon and having the Dragon magic damage is going to help you versus the Goblins. So I'm still losing, but if you remember from the last game, until I hit that Dark Spirit, the Goblins were crushing me, like horribly crushing me, whereas in this game, we haven't hit the Dark Spirit, and we're losing to the Goblin, but it's not too bad. And that not too bad is coming from the Demon synergy and the Dragon. So that is that. Here, this person has got their Dragon Knights, but they are the 6 Knight variation, so just full Dragon Knights. Full Dragon Knights is another good thing. My problem with full Dragon Knights is it just falls off heavily. It falls off heavily late game, and it just can't keep up with builds that go to 9 and 10 unless it high rolls legendaries. Like in this case, it high rolls the 2-star Devastator. So yeah, that's obviously going to help it along. Here I mix in my own 2-star legendary with the helicopter. So we got that in. We are leveling to 10. Another theme of Knight builds is leveling. There will come a point in every game where you decide you're either going to level to 9 and 10 and get your legendaries, or are you going to focus on getting your 3-star? That's going to be a judgment call. To me, I go for the 3-star if I'm close. So if, say, I have 2 2-star Hell Knights, something like that, then yeah, maybe I'll stay at the current level and keep re-rolling. But in this game, it's just kind of, I wasn't getting there fast enough, so I kept leveling to keep pace, keep tempo with my enemies. The risk of going for a 3-star and not leveling is if you don't hit your 3-star, you're done. If you don't hit the 3-star and you're behind in levels, you're going to get destroyed as a Knight player. So just keep that in mind. Going for a 3-star is a pretty big gamble. So here we go, back to the Dragon Knight, who's mixed in the 2-star Devastator. They hit the 3-star Hell Knight, so that's another issue for me in this game. But anyways, they're getting through us. Thankfully, because we had that nice synergy early with the Dragons, our health was high, so that's kind of holding us in the game. And yeah. Here, back to the 6 Warrior. Also notice they have the 3-star Razor Claw, the Siren, and they have a Dark Spirit. So this is definitely a strong comp for them, and they are beating us, but not too terribly. Oh, and they also have the Rogue Guard. So I mean, that's like a really powerful warrior comp, but we still do outlast them. And here's the Mage, and I wish my shop was not open right now. But anyways, here's the Mage, and it is it is going pretty solid because we do the Dragon Knight is doing well versus the Mage with some magic resistance items. So like the Heart of Tigaris, I think it's called, that gives the magic resistance, and then also just the Knight shield. So here we go again versus the Mage. So you can see versus the Mage, it is a consistent win. And even though we didn't go to the 6th Knight, it's actually the Dragon Knight that's helping quite a bit in this game. And then also the Mage's items are not as good as they were in that last match that you saw. And that's what I mean by Mages. A lot of it in the matchup comes down to the level and comes down to the itemization. And then I think the big thing I have in this game is I'm pretty sure I have a Claw Wand on my Dragon Knight. So here I'm showing you the items. Their Dark Spirit obviously has nice items, but the rest of their major mages like the God of Thunder and stuff aren't having items. So that's another thing to pay attention to. And we are just keep going if we can get there. And you are going to see at a certain point, which I believe it is in like a round or two, I just can't hold on anymore. Their items, they just outscale me. I can't hit the right things, and yeah, they just keep beating us. So anyways, there you go. The Mage does finally outlast, but you can see Dragon Knight is a great Mage thing, and yeah, that is basically what to say about that. Going into, so the next games will be our Warrior games. So here we go, starting the Warriors. Here's Glacier Warriors with Warlock mixed in, and the early game here is good to watch because I'm going for Glacier, but this time I have a carry, which is a Fallen Witcher. Okay, so even though it's early and I hit Glacier, we do have a Fallen Witcher with the Glacier, so that makes the Glacier a lot better. And if you notice, my stars are not good. Everything's 1 star, and I just beat a team with, I think, 1 or 2 2-stars. So we'll look, everything on me is 1 star. Here's the Assassin again. They have a 2-star Water Spirit, and we will see the difference. So you'll notice the Taboo just a lot. Glacier is a lot more useful when you have a carry. That is the main thing, and I think this fight illustrates it well. So if you forgot what I'm talking about, go back to the first match. You'll see what I mean. We're for Glacier there too, but I don't have a good carry unit, and it does not go as well. Same thing, lots of Assassins. Surprise, surprise. And Fortune Teller, when he's the same level as the Assassin, doing nicely, right? He's buying me more time to get stuff off, and yeah, we beat the Assassin again. And if you look at our health, it's holding well. 89 health at round 12, you know you're happy with that. And here we go, this person, the Goblin, with 2 2-stars. Actually, sorry, 3 2-stars, so they have a huge star advantage over me. And the fact that I can hold it this closely is what to me shows it's really good. So they have 3 2-stars, I only have 1 2-star, and we are bringing it down to this, which is really amazing. So I think this is a great demonstration. We actually tied, so that's a great demonstration of, for Glacier, if you can get a Fallen Witcher or get some other type of carry unit like a 2-star Hell Knight, a 2-star Lightblade Knight, then the 4 Glacier will serve you well. But don't try to just 4 Glacier with no strong carry damage unit. And sorry, by a carry, I mean a high damage unit. In that last fight, the reason I lost is I got stuck on the tank with my Fallen Witcher, and I just didn't have the damage. So here, the teams are just getting more and more, yeah, they're hitting more and more 2-stars. My team's still stuck at 1-stars, as you can see. So, you know, around the Wolves, if you're not hitting 2-stars, yeah, you're going to start losing. That's just the nature of the game. Here, I tempo up and we get a Siren. Once again, we only have 1 2-star, but you're going to notice that the comp still holds well. So Glacier with a damage carry and CC, so like a Storm Shaman, a Siren, those they can be really strong builds even if you don't have star levels. It's just a very nice team composition, I guess. Balance. And we are falling down the chart, but we also have, I think, the least 2-stars in the whole game. So another Assassin, 6 Assassin, here we go. You can see the Fortune Teller buys the Siren time, and we are catching the Assassins with the formation we're using. That's why I like this center formation. It's very, what you're seeing, this like center box is very helpful against assassins early in game, like early to mid game. And notice this person, they have a 3-star already. It's that we were talking about that kind of like going towards feather, and yeah, that can just be rough. Now we have mixed in a shaman instead of the siren because we weren't really hitting the siren, and this gives us the shaman synergy. So here's a look at the Glacier with this shaman synergy. And eventually I want to mix in both siren and shaman just for double CC. And then also if you can get a pirate captain, that's really nice because you can just layer your crowd control really, really well. Positioning back, we are starting to hit our 2 stars, so that is nice. So we're on to 4 Glacier with our Witcher and only 2 Knight. So our Witcher is still our carry. The problem is he's only 1 star, and yeah, it's just kind of hitting that point in the game where 1 star just isn't enough, and he's not a carry anymore. So we're starting to lose big health. Thankfully, the next round we hit a Rogue Guard, and bam, we sell the Witcher, and we are back to a carry with our Glacier, so that is beautiful. So now the name of the game is buy the Rogue Guard time to destroy the enemy team. So the Assassin DPS meter, if you're looking at it, definitely keep an eye on that. And here we go, back to the Hunter, 3-star Garrus, everything. So I mean, they're definitely ahead of me, but if you check out the combination, see the Storm Shaman starts by just silencing the enemies and getting all that damage out on them. So we kind of buy time, but it's not quite enough CC based on how much damage I have, I guess. So need a little bit more. And now at this point, we've built up to our 4 Knights. So now we're the 4 Knights, 4 Glacier, but we do have the Rogue Guard as our carry. So here's a different look, because remember last game, it was very similar, but we had a 2-star Lightblade Knight going towards 3-star, and we had a Hell Knight. In this game, no Hell Knight. I just have the tanky Knights, so the Argali, the Evil Knight, and the Dragon Knight. But we don't actually have the other carry knights, and I believe the reason in this game was because there was 2 other knight teams. So this is kind of to show you the flexibility of Glacier. If you go for a Glacier comp and you're not hitting the knights and you start to hit the high cost warriors, then this is where this playstyle can be very helpful, because you can shift into a Glacier Warriors. And Glacier Warriors late game, I actually think is stronger than Knights. I need to test it in the new patch, but I'm pretty sure it'll still be stronger than Knights. The problem with Glacier Warriors is it's a lot more expensive. The units you need to make your carries are Doom, 4 cost, Pirate Captain, 4 cost, Rogue Guard, 5 cost, Berserker, 4 cost, Siren, 4 cost, Shaman, 4 cost. So that's what I mean by high cost. The only cheap stuff in a Glacier Warrior are the low-cost Glacier units, but even there, Berserker is going to be one of them, so it's high cost. So this is a much, much more high cost, and if you count the cost of my current lineup, you'll see what I mean. So here we go versus the Assassin. I'm putting the Storm Shaman back because he's going to get his ult off no matter what, and then after that, he can tank for a while and then die, so it's not a big deal. Notice they have the 3-star Abyssal Crawler, and we already saw the Assassins can become an issue that way. So, I mean, Assassins, once they hit 3 stars, are just rough. So not much to be done about it, to be honest. Okay, we got our Siren back. So now we have layered CC. What I mean by layered is Storm Shaman silences, then the Siren turns everything to stone, and then you can see my Pirate Captain is also ulting. And here is like the rest of the game is like this. It's just basically I kill everything, and then this Abyssal Crawler just slowly makes its way through my whole team. For the rest of this video, I'm just kind of showing you different formations I tried and messed around with to kind of deal with Assassins, but overall there's not really a great way once they hit their carry. That 3-star Abyssal Crawler, once it gets there with items, there's not really much you can do. So in this game, I try to substitute in a Doom Guard to get the silence. We try the human synergy. Right now, we're trying the human synergy to get the silence, but it's just all luck and RNG, because if your Doom doesn't get the silence, your humans don't get the silence off, the Abyssal Guard just wins, so. Anyways, while these rounds are going, I'm going to step away real quick to grab a drink of water. Okay, I'm back. We're still chugging away at the assassins. And now they've mixed in their Zeus, so Divinity Assassins. Hopefully you can see some of the formations do work better against the assassins, and there are rounds we get lucky like that last one, but overall it's just rough. Pretty soon I'm going to switch in a 2-star Devastator to just kind of show you, but notice when I put in the Devastator and I take out the human synergy, even though the Devastator is 2 stars, it doesn't really help, because it just, once again, that lucky human silence is the only thing that really can win me around. So even though the Devastator ends up being 2-star and looks really strong, it's still not that great. So actually something I started to do more in the future is mix in more human silence if I'm going against assassins. So you can like mix in Dragon Knight, you can mix in the Argali obviously, and Pirate Captain, and then like a Werewolf. So those getting the 4 human synergy can sometimes make it a little more. And like this perfect example, right? I have 7 heroes left. I win because silence gets off and I have 7 heroes left, but another thing I want to say about this is all my rare lucky wins are from my point of view, but if you notice from the assassin's point of view, he's on an 8-game win streak. So even though I get lucky sometimes myself, from their view, the assassin's not losing. So, and okay, the next round is the last round. Finally, the assassin puts me to rest, and then we can move on to our final game. Our final game is going to be another Glacier Warriors. The early mid game is going to be different again, and then finally the comp is going to be different because we end up in that game fighting a mage. So you'll see how I handle the mage with the Glacier and our last comp. So the last comp is 4 Glacier, 4 Marine, and 3 Warrior. And the sad, sad end of a ridiculous Abyss Crawler. Another thing, by the way, on that Abyss Crawler is I even tried the anti-heal item, but it just doesn't do enough versus a 3-star Abyssal Crawler, so that anybody thinking get that item does not help enough. Anyways, so in this game, here's the huge difference in this game. I don't start with Glacier, right? Right now, if I show you this, you're probably surprised I even end up as a 4 Glacier comp, because I'm Goblin with Marines, right? So the benefit of this style is to me, Glacier's downside is it's weak early and mid game. So actually I love starting with like Goblins and I like starting with other team compositions or starting with Warriors to get a strong win streak going, and then I slowly transition into Glacier. Glacier is not bad to transition into. The reason why is that units are cheap, right? 2 1-cost Glacier, 1 2-cost, 1 3-cost, and a 4-cost. And you only need Berserker if you're going Warriors, and the fact that I have the Pirate Captain, the Siren already, and I now hit a Berserker, that to me is the alarm bell for, okay, I'm going into a Glacier Warriors team composition. And then from there, you just need to adjust. You need to decide which variation of Glacier Warriors. In this game, I see that my main threat is going to be a mage, and that's why I start picking up so much of the Marine. And this early game, the Abyssal Guard's really good because you can ride it early game into late game. Here is a just Glacier Knight, and yeah, wrecking through me. So actually, I think that was the a Garrus with the Umbra Glacier Knight. And here's the mage. See, they already have a 2-star, or not a 2-star, they already have their Tortola Elder. Round 19, so they're pretty happy. Fortunately, no items yet, so it's not getting a fast ult off, but that's going to change, obviously. So that's how I kind of know there's going to be a mage that's going to be an issue. Because we had that level lead and we got a streak, you'll notice that by round 21, I'm level 9 and my economy is good. We're 40 gold economy. So this is when you can make a Glacier Warrior team shine. If you can get to level 9 at round 21, have a lot of health and have a lot of gold, because then you have time to get all those really expensive units, the Pirate, the Doom, the Rogue Guard, the Siren, the Storm Shaman. And if you take this build to its full potential, it's really strong against anything out there. So to me, this is my favorite Glacier build. It's just you must win streak early in the game. You must have high health. You must have a good economy, and you must get to level 9. So there's a lot of requirements for this build, but if you get the opportunity to use it, it's extremely strong against the meta builds. So notice the stacked CC, right? Pirate Captain, Stun, Siren, Stone, Storm Shaman, Silence. Like, it's just CC after CC. That's why I love those 3 mixed together. The Siren, Storm Shaman, and Pirate Captain. They just buy time for your damage carry, in this case Berserker, to just pop off on the enemy team. And there we go, gain our stuff, giving up on Witcher, and yeah, you can just see the more expensive. You can mix Soul Reaper into these builds. It's normally not something that I keep long term, the Soul Reaper, but it definitely, like early, late game, mid game, it's something nice. Or if you get it early in game, it can definitely be something nice. If you have a Evil Knight, so you can get the Garrus synergy. Here we go. And okay, now we'll start focusing more on the late game comps, so you'll start to see us going versus meta comps. Here's the mage. Notice they have a helicopter. I don't think they're at 6 mage yet though, but here we go. The CC stacking. Again, the CC stack is what's saving us. They're not getting off the ultimates yet, but they also haven't hit their items yet. So that mage so far is still not at their late game. Here's a 6 mage, Dragon Mage. Obviously another thing you'll see, and once again, just notice the staggered CC. Right, Silence into Stone into Pirate Ship. Mages never have a chance to ult, and then your damage is just cutting through them. At this point, my damage carry is actually Doom. The reason why is he has the cleave. You want to get a Doom or you want to get a Rogue Guard and get cleave on them. The reason why is because they have the true damage from their demon synergy. So the cleave and the damage is just much more efficient coming from them. Here we go. This person now has a helicopter and a Devastator, and they got their Tortola to 2-star. What's saving me is once again the CC. So CC is very, very important in these Glacier builds. Without it, you just don't have time to do the damage you need to do. Here's a Glacier. I believe this one is a Glacier Warrior also. So I think they're going almost similar build to me. And if you notice, they have a 2-star Rogue Guard. And I believe what's pulling me through here is I'm level 10, they're level 9, and then also my mana items. Otherwise, they probably would beat me. Also, their positioning is a little worse than me because they're putting their Rogue Guard on the edge instead of putting the Rogue Guard in the middle. You want your Rogue Guard and your Doom in the middle of the enemy team because they cleave. So if you don't put them in the middle, you're not getting the benefit out of the cleave. You can see that mage player is like high rolling crazy legendaries. They now have a Devastator, a Helicopter, a Rogue Guard. So, and here's this Glacier Warrior again, and you can see their Rogue Guard on the right side of the map, just not being as efficient with the DPS as they could. So that's definitely the big difference. And then my Siren is getting her ult off quicker, and she has a refresher. So that is the end. Here we go, the 6 Assassin. Assassins are nothing if they don't hit the 3-star, and as you see, the Abyssal Crawler's only 2-star, so then the Assassin's not a worry. And hopping around, closing it out, and this game going better. Finally hit our Fortune Teller. Fortune Teller is like one of those units I'm so unlucky with, but yeah. Sorry, another note on this is Dark Spirit. Dark Spirit is huge in any comp, so surprise, surprise, it's great in Glacier comps, but anyways, Dark Spirit is definitely the best legendary you want. In this, it's close with Rogue Guard, but I would still honestly take Dark Spirit. And here we go to the Mage, Dragon Mage, 2-star Devastator, 2-star Rogue Guard, 2-star Helicopter. Thankfully, I high rolled a Siren with Refresher, Orb of Refresh, because otherwise it would be even worse, and you can see they're beating me. It's just tons of magic damage and just, yeah, lots of quality on their team. And that comes to the last point of this video, is where to deal with that person, what I'm going to end up doing is going to 4 Marine, and you can see me, I have the Abyssal Crawler and I am holding the Tsunami Stalker. So my hesitation going that way is if I put in 4 Marine, I'm weaker to the Assassin, so I'm waiting for the Assassin to die, and then once the Assassin dies, I switch in the Marine synergy, so that's my hesitation. And here, I put in the 4 Marine because I know I'm fighting the Mage from their point of view, and I want to kill the Mage, and the Mage is killing the Assassin. So this round, I predicted that the Assassin will be killed by the Mage, and I wanted to do damage to the Mage. And you can see it worked out that way. The Assassin got killed by the Mage player, and I beat the Mage, whereas I was losing to the Mage if I wouldn't have been 4 Marine. So the 4 Marine makes me beat the Mage, but makes me lose to the Assassin, and if I have the Pirate Captain and Storm Shaman, I beat the Assassin, but I lose to the Mage. So that is the variation of this build and how you can adjust to whatever you're playing. But anyways, I believe this game is wrapping up in the next round. Is it? Yep, one more round. So here's the last round, and just positioning I'm breaking off the 2 units so that the Dark Spirit doesn't hit my team. If that Dark Spirit hits my team, I lose. So definitely make sure you're using the randomization trick to make sure that the Dark Spirits do not hit the main body of your team, or else you're going to be losing a lot of matches that you could win. Anyways, long video. That does it for our Glacier guide. Once again, if this hits 50 likes, I will do the next guide just like this for either Goblin or Mage. Vote in the comments. As always, love you all and talk to you tomorrow.